Hi, your favorite uncle, and we are back with episode 4 of Daredevil Reborn. Let's jump right into it, shall we? Okay, y'all. So the story begins with us realizing, y'all, because Hector got pew pewed the last episode, which was a extreme plot hole. Extreme, because if you know anything about White Tiger, like I do, that is an extreme plot hole. However, this does open the room for us to get, because I think, like I said, his niece or daughter, his niece actually takes over as White Tiger and carries on the vigilante that her uncle did. Because they're all gearing up for Young Avengers. My thing is this: they need to start this today. Because by the time y'all want to do Young Avengers, these people are going to be in their 40s talking about Young Avengers. Y'all are the Avengers at that point. Now, come on now, Kevin. Y'all, side note, I love graffiti. Not gonna lie. It's probably one of my favorite things to see is graffiti artists doing graffiti. Harper, who that man? I'm trying to scroll back about Marvel history to see this, y'all. One of the cons of being a Marvel historian. Now, y'all, BB ain't slick. She know what she doing. She got that boy intoxicated just so she can fish out information. That journalistic brain went on real quick. Like, oh, don't you? I mean, shouldn't you? She ain't slick. I see right through it, girl. I'm proud of you though. Proud of you. Your ancestors is proud of you. Like, I mean, dude, you're trying to get this girl, you're trying to date her, eventually try to marry her. She is beautiful. You kind of have to do things with her. I don't know why people think that they could just look at somebody from afar and instantly they'll fall in love and run away off in the sunset, white picket fence, 2.5 kids. I don't know why it's a half, but 2.5 kids. Is a half the abortion? Is that the half? Just asking a question. Or did y'all give it up for adoption? Oh wait, the half. Okay, I know what the half is. Okay, wait, forget that. I know exactly what the half is. You know how your sister and brother's kids, them is your kids. Them is your kids. That's the half. Okay. Okay. Half a white picket fence with a golden lab. Yeah, come on. Come on. What kind of gentleman are you that you just let two girls walk home late at night at New York by themselves? So granted, this is New York, so I'm pretty sure they have everything plus the power of God on their sides to get home, but still. Okay, y'all, so we get to see where Fisk and his wife, who I really like, are talking about the affair, the betrayal, the idolatrous behavior that she displayed when her husband left and then start fighting for his life because he turned on his goddaughter. Yeah. Echo. If y'all ain't watched that show, Echo, just go watch Echo. It explains all of it. However, comma, we're sitting here and she's talking about how, like, the reason why she with Adam is because he was an artist and he drew and all that. I said, not the artist, girl, not the free spirit. She said, I don't care about the money. She already got that. I don't care about the pursuit. She already got that. Adam had something she didn't have. Freedom. Liberty. Passion. I noticed that in this therapy session, they're actually sitting a lot closer and she's talking about how her father, and then she talks about how when Fist did that, it took a part of her because her father, she was so used to men leaving her that when that happened, she saw what it did to her mom and crushed her down. She said, I will not be my mother in this instance. I will be better, like how my mom wants me to be. So, y'all, one thing I can say about Fisk, no matter if we're watching him here or in Echo or in Into the Spider-Verse, that man loves his wife. That man don't love nothing else in this world. He loves his wife. If that man don't care about nothing else in this world, he cares about his wife. If that man don't believe no one else in this world, he's going to believe his wife. If that man is not going to move heaven, hell, purgatory, all the stars, constellations, planets, multiverses around, he's going to do that for no one else but his wife. So, y'all, the therapist said something deep. I like it. She said forgiveness is not only just the highest act of love, it's moving forward. Message. Y'all, even I had a chuckle at this scene. Dr. Glenn looked at her and said, do you feel safe? in your marriage. Even Vanessa laughed like, girl, hold on. She said, girl, I'm the safest I've ever been in my life. She's like, my husband will do many things, and some of them to the extreme, but one thing he will never, has never, and is not going to ever do is harming me. And that is true. If you know Fisk, he'll harm everybody around her before he harm her. Somehow harm her, it's a death sentence. Y'all, so we get the scene. We got Murdock seeing Leroy, and Leroy has a rap sheet a mile long, and he's like, "Get me, y'all." This whole entire scene can be summed up in one word: ninjas. Y'all, Azula is flirting with Murdock down. They want this blind man. They want this blind man. They want this blind man. They say he ain't gotta see. Mm-hmm. So what I don't get is you got beat up by a blind guy, and he almost put you on the other side of Jordan. You decide to try him again. Are lessons not being learned? Are they just not being learned? I want audience would like to know. Have y'all learned your lesson? Hands. So y'all, we got the scene where Sheila's trying to tell Fisk, like, I get what you're trying to do and I get what you're trying to say and I'm backing you, but we got to start smaller and work our way big because this is city government. There's red tape, there's processes, there's boards, there's things that got to get approved, there's dates, there's workers that you got to hire. So she's like, I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying not right now. You can, just not right now at this point. Start small. Well, let's get here. This is the end goal. So now let's work backwards. Wait, no, wait. Oh, oh, oh. Wait, not the black woman. That was every ancestor from Eve to that moment specifically. That wasn't acting. That what Sheila did in this scene is not acting. She looked at like, y'all. Give people power to the people. Y'all, Leroy's sob story is really irking my nerves. Very much so. Like, there's always an excuse with people like him. Like, it's always someone else's fault. They can never take accountability. Y'all, if you are around those people under the sound of my voice, please leave them alone. Please leave them alone. Murdock, not you saying he right. I would have walked out and had him do them 10 days. No. That story, that was good at all. That was a great performance, Emmy worthy, but now you going to jail. And I'm going to drop you off myself, free of charge. Y'all, I start to like Fisk more and more as this show goes along, which is what they're trying to do. Because we get to see where he's sitting there and the kids are singing to the mayor and they sound awful. And he's not hiding it. B flat, B flat, C sharp. Now, sing up. Random. The actress that plays Sheila look like she could be Felicia Rashad and Debbie Allen's sister. I feel this. I do get Claire Huxtable from her. I do. That lady had the audacity and mitigated gall to look him in his to look him in his face. And had sheer brute had bravery. had tenacity to look him in his face and said, and I quote, and now for the next one. Oh, like, how dare you? Who do you think you are? He said, doo, I lied. You good, you good. Y'all be blessed to say how he favored. Wait, y'all, so Sheila told Fisk what was going on. And now old Fisk is starting to come back. Yay! I love this. I love this. Because this whole kumbaya, let's all come together. Let me suppress who I really am. I don't know why folks think they can get delivered from who God created them to be. I mean, as it says, you were born this way, so you can be born again. However, he's not trying to be. Well, he's not trying to do it with Jesus. Y'all, so Fisk is in the Latvian Cultural Center because it's Latvian Cultural Day. Okay, why does it sound like the same song y'all know Sam talk about that the kids just sing, but in Latvian? Y'all know no other songs out there, Marvel? Y'all ain't got a playlist? And that's recommendations. Play Stevie Wonder. Everybody likes Stevie Wonder. Everybody. Y'all, Daniel confessed, and Sheila, who I'm now going to hopefully, I really want Sheila to be Miles' mom. If not that lady in Spider-Man, I really want this to be Miles' mom. Y'all change the names. I'll change names all the time. Because y'all have Morales. Come on now. We know who that is. That's Miles' dad. But Sheila's like, dude, don't worry about it. I'll handle it. Let me do my job. But in white savior complex news, he confesses to screwing up to a man that has taken people out of the game. I would have taken that to I'd have taken that to heaven with me. Like, hey, guy, hey, how you doing? Here you go. I'll skip that in. Appreciate you. God bless. Not Fisk said everybody leave, and they'll be like, "Oh, I guess this is my cue. Y'all take care now. All right. Y'all take care. Y'all take care. Y'all take care." It's like, you staying right here with me, so I can talk with you loudly with explicitives, and maybe hands being thrown. Sheila, what you doing? I wouldn't have dared took up him. I'd have been like, when he said you out, I'd have been like, you know what? God bless. You can tell he ain't got no friends or no Carrie family members. Because once you confess, that's it. Just like you did, yup. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sure did do it. Mm-hmm. Oh, you don't want an explanation? Okay, cool. Okay, y'all, from this day forward, my new favorite character in this show is Sheila. If it is not Sheila, it is not my favorite character. So when I say my favorite character, I'm talking about Sheila. Because her whole her thing. Y'all, this is my new favorite. That's favorite character. I mean, he just keeps talking. It feels like, wait, hold up. After my favorite character told him to shut up, he's like, wait, do you want to be here? Then shut up. Wait, there's no way you have friends acting this way. When I got pulled to one of my first favorite jobs at office, I didn't say a word. I just stood there and looked at her. Everything you say can, and well, actually, everything you say will be used against you in a court of law. Okay, y'all. So we got Murdock following a jar that seemed to roll down into the sewer. Well, y'all, we get a scene where Murdock is talking to his friend named Frank, who I guess also once upon a time did the whole vigilante thing, or I think kind of sounded like he was a villain. However, his friend is reading him like a book, like, dear, you're guilty, you in shame, it's all about him, you feel some type of way, and now you trying to project it onto me. He is like, you can't even say his name. Say his name. Say, what did Monique say? Say their names. Say their names. If not, leave it on the playground. Y'all, for some odd strange reason, this scene made me ask a question. Wait, why didn't I think blind people could cry? I genuinely thought that blind people could not cry. I don't know why. As they're going back and forth for this scene, very powerful scene. But I was like, wait, can blind people cry? I didn't know that they could. Wow, y'all, they really be using psychiatrists in these TV shows like they're psychologists. This is fantasy, y'all. Your middle of the day psychiatrist, unless they're in private practice, is not doing none of this stuff. They pushing meds, and that's not saying that's a bad thing because they do know mental health. They are trained therapists. They are trained, in the DSM-5. They are trained in different therapy modalities, as well as how to enact or perform or practice psychopharmacology. However, how y'all be using them in these TV shows is, however, I wish this is how they were used in real life because I feel like they need to be used this way. Now, y'all, Vanessa was being honest, and she told Fisk, like, Fisk, she asked me if I was safe, and I said I really am. And Fisk, like, I don't really know too much about forgiveness because my father never taught me it. He was a bad guy, and that's where I learned to be a man from. So, y'all, we get the scene with Murdock and Dr. Glenn, and they're making love. That's just really what they are. It looks like, y'all, Murdock might be coming back to the red side. And Fisk is eating food. Yeah. Surprise, surprise. Fisk got Adam, the man that, his wife cheated on, chained up and in shackles and in a prison cell. I'm not surprised, y'all. This is why we like Fisk. And y'all, that was the end of it. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and come back because I want to see what happens to Adam.